here, I haven't got the lights on.
Yeah, I could do a wee bit of a better lighting.
Yes, a wee bit of
better
there we
lighting.
go. Hello, everyone. How you doing? And happy Thursday to you. And I genuinely mean that. Happy Thursday. Happy to be here. I'm looking forward to tonight. I think the title got a wee bit
away from us.
Yeah, it got away from us because we'd actually talked about what we'd given the title for this week last week by accident.
Yeah, it was.
So we thought we'd change it. That's the nice thing. We can change things.
Well, you guys are used to the chaos of our show. So
I'm going to say this a couple of times in the beginning, but it's just for as people coming in. There's Moosey. I don't know that name now. Moosey, you're very, very welcome.
Groundfog has been here since. I mean, Groundfog, you're showing way too much keenness there to be here from 6:30.
What we're going to talk about this week is your 3 unsung hero knives, and I want you really this week. I really want you to join in. We'll give you a little brief explanation of what I mean by unsung hero, and it's quite simply. We all love knives and we all love doing our Instagram photographs and we all love showing knives off, but we tend to pick our fancier ones. Mm-hmm. And I want to talk about tonight 3 knives. We both pick 3. It doesn't matter whether they're lockers, anything, whatever you use, I would love you to put in down below the 3 knives in a nice wee line so that we can read them really quickly. And I want to go through as many as we can and talk about them.
So how do you define an unsung hero?
An unsung hero is just the knife that when all else fails and you go in and you just want a knife, we normally have about 3 knives that we use more than anything else.
Keep on going back.
We keep on back to, yes, exactly. I didn't get that word. That was a big word, back.
Okay.
But yeah, it's that knife. You just keep going back when you know it's going to do exactly what you wanted to do and you just go and pick it up. And I picked 3 that I know I use. I use these 3 knives more than most, by far.
Yeah.
In fact, I've actually got another couple I could put down there as well.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, it's like choosing your favorite 3 knives, or your 3 favorite sacks, or your 3 favorite tip points. Or your what? Only 3?
Yeah. But the thing is, I mean, if you were to say 10. You'd be here for the rest of the night trying to read somebody. So, I mean, we have to limit it. And there's no point saying, I can't do that. When you get a tag like that, you just fucking do it.
That's true.
You just pick 3 and talk about them. But if there's 3 that, is genuinely off that thing, nobody's going to hold you that this is the best knife you've ever had in your life. Yeah. It's just a knife you go back to
again,
over and over again. And I mean, in my collection, out of all my collection, I would say I could probably name 10 that I would use quite regular. And that's just the honest truth. But these 3 I picked out, especially this year, I have used these 3 more than most.
Yeah. So maybe it's a case when you're thinking about it, don't think about it too much.
Yeah.
Just what's the first knife that springs to mind? If you were reaching your hand into your drawer, your storage cabinet, or your whatever, your presentation case, whatever, what's the knife that you would reach for first if you closed your eyes and hope for the best?
Yeah.
And then if you opened your eyes and looked at that knife, would you be disappointed and then put it down and pick up the one that you actually hoped you'd find? That's what we're talking about.
And I think that specific job knives, these are, and I've actually just changed one as we came on air, just so that we had sort of much the same, not the same knives, but that
similar kind of thing.
There is about 10 that could fit here.
Yeah.
I know that. But especially open tags, you hear people saying, oh, well, I can't pick this. It's only a game. It's not, I don't mean that. It's only a puppet.
It is. People, lives aren't hanging in the balance there.
It gets so serious because I can't do that. An open tag is that. It's just open to show the knives that you've got. It doesn't matter whether you make a mistake and pick one that we don't really believe you. It's just, let's see as many knives as possible. That's all an open tag is. Don't get hung up on the title, and you have to get it perfect. Just pick 3.
And we've got Retro Stu. It's actually the second, and I've just noticed, but he gets their first dibs on it. And he's got an Ontario Rat 2. Good choice. Queen Sawcut Bone Canoe. Well, that's just a lend a line to what you've always said about nobody carries.
Not many people carry
Retro Stu does.
I think that's great. Yeah.
And a Victorinox Compact, of course, a Victorinox Compact, and we will be talking about the Compact later on.
But I mean, that's a super choice because their knives will cover anything you want to do in an EDC role.
But Paul 13, cheeky blighter that he is from across the loch.
Bread
knife, butter knife, and steak knife.
Oh, well done, Paul. You're barred.
Bread knife, butter knife, steak knife. Okay, done. Sold. There we go. See, there's always one. There's always one.
That's really good. If you could all try and put them in, that would be absolutely wonderful. Yeah. 3 knives, no more than 3 or less than 3, just 3.
So we've got Addicted to Knives. It's only got Brandon Park Wasp. Okay, that's just your one. We need the other 2 as well. Addicted to. So yeah, get your act together, and then we'll put you back up.
Brandon Park Wasp. What the hell is a Brandon Park?
Yeah, but it's the CTS XHP, which is the same as my Chaparral, which is interesting.
But it's 60. God, that's really hard. I didn't realize XHP
went up to that.
I didn't realize that you could take it up unless it's a custom, because custom knife makers can, they can get a few degrees more, but that's really high.
Yeah. That must be an amazing knife, actually.
There's Drizzy. Drizzy, you're very welcome. I'm not sure your name, but
Power 3, good choice. Sodbuster Junior, can't go wrong with a Sodbuster.
SEPR 4.
Yeah, well, SE that would be a fixed blade.
Yeah, the 3's are smaller, and then the 4 in it. Yeah,
the SEs are ones that, especially since you've got your Bark River, because you're the worst influencer on my addiction, if for want of a better term. I've been looking at fixed blades more and more, and SEs always cut the mustard. Where I'm
so you've been looking at fixed blades. I've actually bought one again.
Oh, yeah, again, another one.
Yeah, another one. I'm always doing it. I keep saying I'm not going to do it, and then I do it. Where is it?
Well, there's 2 up there. I'm not sure if it's any.
No, that's another fixed blade I got.
Here we go.
Where did I put my fixed blade? Oh, there it is. Here. There it is. I got this week, which is the Ontario pilot knife. Survival knife. It's got the sign. It calls it a hunting survival. A little pocket in the front where it has a little sharpening stone, which I think I'll probably change out to a diamond. I know I've no need to because it's $10.95, but it's quicker. And if you're in the field, you want quick. It needs a bit of work. I need to get this. Look at that. Isn't that just a fantastic clip point on that, with a big deep fuller and this leather stacked handle? And this, look at that for giving you a whack in the bunch with. That would certainly give you a sore head. But the leather's really hard and crispy. It needs to be softened up, but feel that in your hand.
Oh, no, it's that bulbous handle.
Yeah, the bulbous.
It really does give you. And I like the
guard
on it.
I must
admit, it's very, very nicely done, and there's a good bit of weight in the handle.
It's a bit of wee rust on it, like it's not deep rust or anything, but I'll clean that up a bit, and I'll give these a good soak in mineral oil.
It smells of leather.
Yeah,
it smells of leather and wood.
So I'm really looking. There's the leather handle on it. It's just it'll look lovely. So and slip. Yes, what do you call them? Slick slicers.
So slick
slicers gave me a really. He used brown boot polish. The color is to darken that up, and I thought that sounds nice. And then polish it, give it a good polish and wax. Yeah. So nice. I'll give it a go. A couple of things. I'll probably try the lighter. I'll probably just use a lovely leather wax there, rejuvenating wax. I'll put that on it first to try and keep it lighter. Yeah. And then if I don't like it light, I'll just go to the boot polish.
But build it up.
I mean, this didn't cost me a fortune, but it cost a few quid. Like
they all cost.
They all cost a few quid. But I think I got a really good bargain, as in it's in mint condition. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm not sure if anybody any of these brain boxes go on. There might be when these first came out. I haven't done any at all. Any investigations on it yet. When I get this, I go to Slick Slicers, Warthog, or Tobias. That's the 3 I go, because there's stacks of videos up on old knives.
You don't need Google search, and you don't need the Encyclopedia Britannica when you've got
those 3. Yeah,
they don't know it.
They cover most. I'm sorry, Gizmo's another one.
Another one.
And if you want your case knives, you've got.
Oh, you went there. You went there knowing that you couldn't remember his name.
I can't think of his flipping name now, but he has about 1,000 cases, or maybe more even. But anyhow, there's plenty of people in our community.
Jersey?
No.
Oh,
no.
Yeah.
Right. Jersey has about 10,000 knives.
So anyway, to get him shut up for a second, we're going on to. We've got Jason's got Civivi Elementum, one of my
were
favorites.
talking about that today.
I was debating about whether to take
yeah.
that one. I could have gone that one. Real Steel Titanium Barlow. The Real Steel Barlows I really like, but the titanium ones I always find are really cold looking.
Yeah,
I would much prefer them in traditional materials, I have to say. A Barlow.
Yeah, they've got a plastic one, haven't they? Now, was it? I think it was Slippy that had the Real Steel. I'm sure it was like a plastic or G10 one. Looked really good with a full bowler, bolster sort of thing.
Could have been.
I think it was in the pass around group. But on a Jack Wolf K9, absolutely just a super knife. It really is a super knife. But to be honest with you, because I don't get to carry them, because I'm doing one a month, I don't get to carry the other ones because I don't like taking 2 Jack Wolves out because that's just overkill and it doesn't give me a beater knife. So if I've got a Jack Wolf, I always have a cheaper version like this little. This is an under 15 pattern. This was the Beer Scout. This is one of mine. And this is the GEC number 15. It was a Beer Scout. It used to have the bottle opener screwdriver on it, but it had been removed. I bought it like this. It's not bad. Let me tell you, the fit and finish is really good for somebody who's taken it apart and repinned it. And the walk and talk in this is just beautiful. It's only about a 5 pull.
Yeah, it's quite light.
But it is. It's so light. It's got enough blade to do me a day.
But it's the lightness of it and the thinness of it. Again, it's got that. Was it the 56? Was the dog leg?
It's the same sort
of
thing.
It's the same sort of size and slimness in hand. It's a beautiful, beautiful wee knife.
It's exactly.
It really is.
They're near enough exactly the same size. There are 2 different blades here, but there you go.
Yeah. So yes, you got those 2. That are roughly the same size, and again, same thinness or in hand and lightness in the pocket, and yet they'll work all day for you.
Yeah,
and as Paul was saying, they'll butter your bread, they'll cut your steak, and do whatever else you need to do. So so that is a cracker. And I mean, just bearing that in mind, we've got who is it?
Thank you so much for joining in, by the way. It makes it such a difference.
We've got Don C. said he's got his GEC 86, which is his most carried this year.
Yeah.
A Wayfarer, and of course, I was almost afraid to put it up there. I was almost afraid to put it up there.
Every time somebody mentions bug out this week, I get an internal excitement that I haven't had in a bug out since they came out, because I have fought with them since they came out. That it's just one of those little, you get a niggle, and it's and look, anybody that does this, I am not getting at you. It's just my head. It gives me, when somebody buys something that's a reasonable price for what you're buying, and then they add another £100 putting a scale on or
just to stick the knife in.
It's just not something that I do. And every time you hear they go, oh no, it's never going. You're just going to get your money back. You're better buying something that's in titanium in the first place.
Yeah.
But look, we all are different, and that's the joy of this hobby. The second-hand market is exploding at the minute, and rather than sell a knife to buy another one, people are doing more of their mods now, and I understand it. And I understand it through being taught a lesson. I've done a trade, and I got a bug out again. This is about, have you been with me?
If you haven't seen this already, where the hell have you been? He's been doing nothing but talk about this for the last week or more.
This is what the bug out should have been. It's in titanium. It's not in a flat titanium. Look at that. Beautiful. It's all milled here. It is stunning. Look at that bug out. In 20 CV. Oh, it is just a beautiful thing. I have fallen in love completely with it. Take away your paras, take away your anything. Anything.
Your hinders,
it's just better. It's better than them. Yeah, it's really lovely, and it sounds so much nicer when the blade goes in.
It's solid.
Yeah.
I mean, I could never understand the attraction of the bug out, simply because, I mean, I'd seen the cheap ones and I'd seen it, but that squishiness in that plastic handle I could never get past, because I like a solid handle.
See, funny, that never bothered me.
Always bothered me.
Never bothered me.
I like my knives to be solid, like my women. And, it was one of those things. It was just, I couldn't get past it. And Even the shape, because the shape of the blade is one of my favorite designs. So the Elementum for me is probably comparable. You've also got the Dozier out there and a number of other ones that are sort of have been touted as bugout killers by yourself and many others.
Yeah.
And for a knife of that kind of shape and for that purpose as a beater, there are so many different options.
Again, you talked about it tonight, because you don't have a large hand.
Yeah.
And you've got the Elementum, and it's in beautiful covers, your Elementum. Yeah. It's just a beautiful looking knife. It's near enough the exact shape.
Yeah.
The exact shape. And there's been lots that have been so close to it. You'd swear they're family related. There's blood in there.
Definitely.
And there is plenty of option. And I think that's a thing that sometimes you go with a fad.
Yeah.
And then you after you've got the fad, you think, but I could have got that for £50, £60, £70 cheaper. And then your thought process, well, I'll have to like that.
Yeah.
And it's just
sort of gets into it.
And
but I mean, it's even the fact that it's sold as a beater knife.
Yeah.
When you can get a beater knife now for
50
half the price.
Yeah, you can buy a good beater knife between 30 and 50.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it would last your life.
But that's different.
That's different. That's not a man on the streets knife. That's somebody who's a collector, who's into the hobby, is going to buy something like that. It's too dear.
Personally, I think that sounds a bit pretentious.
No, but you know, you know what I mean. I can't see many people getting into Walmart or the Co-op here and paying £250.
Let me tell you, it's what you were saying earlier. See if they had that priced at 180 or 190 with those sides on them, with that
scales 20 CV. I'd pay 190.
They'd be flying off the shelves.
I'd pay 190 all day long. But they're probably making more money selling it for 170.
Yeah.
That's what a bugout is now. £170 in the UK for a bugout.
I just don't get it.
No, I can't get it. When they first came out, I think they were 120 or 130. And I bought it then, and I was happy that it was new. It was really light with a full size blade, and that was why I bought it.
No, that's all your fault. That's on you, don't see. Because you mentioned the bugout. Okay, let's see what else. Let's see what other knives we've got. We've got Baron here, or we'll go with Tony's Ponies first. So we've got a Pioneer number 7. Pioneer number 7.
Pioneer number 7.
I mean, there's the Victorinox Pioneer. There's the Jack Wolf Knives Pioneer. There's
the Open L. Is that? Not sure, but there was the
Twisted Assisted Traditional. That's a good. That's really good. That's the Lanny's clip version.
And I mean, there's a knife could last you the rest of your days. It's what is it? VG10. Super steel. And the Anchor Otter Messer. Yeah.
That's a class.
It's a lovely knife. I just let go of mine. I had it for years, and it never became a rotational knife.
Really?
I used it, but it was using it for a video or to do something. I never made it into the rotation, and I think it was that rounded sort of sheep footy.
Yeah. Although I think it's one of the most.
It just looks lovely with a big brass anchor on it.
Yeah, it does, but it's almost a rounds fit.
It was a rig round.
It was such a big fat.
I think if it had been shaped more like a sailor's knife, like that ram's foot sailor's knife, I probably would have liked, with a sharper point. Yeah. But it's just funny that didn't hit my eye. And like we all know what that's like. You can you can get the most beautiful knife in the world, and if you see one little thing and it gets your eye and hits your eye every single time, it'll wear you out.
Yeah, it'll either break you or make you.
Yeah. And I kept mine for ages because it was a blooming good knife at a really good price.
It was a class one, actually. It was a really good one. So those are 3 good ones. Yeah. Barons. Oh, holy Moses, Baron. You've got a Nova Fixed Blade Bowie.
Oh.
Max Ace Goliath K110 Bowie Folder and a Case Sodbuster Jr. and Chestnut. Baron, you're turning me on here, man, and that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing.
Not if you're me.
Yeah, especially not if you're him.
Chestnut bone. Is there anybody else can come up with a case bone that looks better than the case chestnut bone? I'm just new in the case. Well, I'm not new in the case, but I'm now collecting them far too frequently. I bought another one again last night.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Was that the Barlow you got?
The Barlow.
Yeah.
The Barlow with writing on the bolster, so it'll go on my special Barlows.
Oh, I got you.
Just couldn't believe I got that. But the case,
Chestnut.
Chestnut. The case chestnut bone, I honestly believe, is just unbeatable for just looks and warmth. And you hold it in your hand, it's bone, and everything about it is just gorgeous. Anybody else want to knock that off its pedestal? Anybody got any other one that they find more attractive than the chestnut bone? And if you don't know what the chestnut bone looks like, there's a little beauty.
Yeah, it is lovely.
It is just a beauty.
I've got a wee copperhead coming in amber jig bone, and it looks very nice as well.
The amber is nice. It's amber is beautiful.
I think it might be a little bit darker or more orange.
Yeah, they do, and the nice thing is they do come in all different colors,
shades,
which is nice. But yeah, it's
it'll be interesting. No, I have to say, and it's funny actually because TK did a review of a single bladed sow belly there a couple of days ago, and it was the single bladed sow belly, as you know yourself, is a lovely knife. Really is a lovely knife. Okay, and it's the fact that it's the single blade, because I'm not. It's funny, being a sack person, I'm not a big multi-bladed penknife person, but the single bladed sow belly is a beautiful.
Sorry, that is a case, by the way. It's a Tony Bowes case. Yeah. But it is so comfortable.
It is lovely, and his were in green kieranite.
I've seen that. I've seen the picture of it.
And I mean, it was unusual, but I couldn't help but look at the pattern and think, it needed traditional material.
Yeah.
I don't know whether you've corrupted me or what.
No, it's a beautiful knife. No matter what you get it in, it is such a lovely, usable knife. But so, I mean, it's not that I don't like garish colors. I like garish colors, but I would, and we're all the same probably. There's specific knives they go with, or specific knives they go with, and others say, "Oh no, that doesn't look good." And isn't that the joy? And I never hear people who collect just locking knives ever having the sort of mental torture we get of what bone are we going to get? Are we going to get wood on the handle? They get whatever it comes out in, usually just two colors, titanium or G10, or you know what I mean?
I don't know. I mean, you see, especially if you're on Ben's Facebook page and you see people posting after each one of the Jack Wolf knives drops, and some of the carries that people do with the matchup of either titanium or carbon fiber, some of them are stunning.
Oh, there's no doubt about it.
Now the titanium, I've said this before, titanium always leaves me slightly cold because it's just grey, and I like a bit of colour in my knives. But some of the matches of textures and patterns and things like that are just unbelievable. And I think, but it's like you were saying about, or we constantly refer to, we're in the golden age of knives. Is that there's so much more choice now. There's different variations in micarta and G10 and carbon fiber before you even get to the traditional materials and say, which just the variety is amazing.
Absolutely. So anybody who's in a wee bit late, we're talking about three of your unsung. Yeah, I can't say that word. Unsung. No wonder I get my Chinese's wrong. Unsung hero knives. Three knives that you go back to time and time again, and they're sort of the ones when you open your drawer, whichever one of them hits your eye first, you tend to just pick it out. Now, I know I've got more than three that I do that to, but just pick any three that you would do that on a regular basis and put them up there. We're just going to talk about them. We'll just have we read out them. Let us know what we think and how you could make your life better by following us.
You seriously said that?
It just came out.
We've got. I promised Addicted Knives that we're bringing back. He finally came up with his other two knives. Great. I can't complain about
Hinder Jurassic
and a Spartan Harsey. Those sound like two incredible knives. The Hinder, I haven't seen either of those.
Well, I know them both, and I've never had one. The Spartan Harsey is a beautiful, especially if you get the titanium ones. It's got graphics on the handle. Oh, they just look beautiful. But the Spartan Harsey is a real hard use knife. And I don't do any hard use work, but I do have a hard use Hinder. And I think now that I've got this, I've sort of, I just love this.
But the pure weight of that knife is
just feels like a working knife. So the Jurassic, I would say, has that same feel. I think it's a bit sort of elongated a wee bit more than the, it looks like it. Never had it in hand. The Spartan Horsey would be a thinner sort of, it wouldn't be as wide as this, but it's a real heavy duty blade.
And I'm going to have to look up the Brandon Park, because apart from anything else, the custom knife makers just he
is a custom knife maker.
Yeah, I'd love to see what he has on offer. So thanks for that, Addicted.
Yeah,
appreciate that.
The custom knife makers, fools you don't know, you'll get the HRC of a blade when it comes from a factory, and they're doing their heat treat in batches of hundreds, maybe at some stages. They just go to like one of the big factories that does heat treating, and they do hundreds at a time. The custom maker can do an individual HRC on a knife himself in his wee garage in a little small oven, and he gets it specifically just to that knife and the blade. So they always usually have a couple of points higher, which turns turns a good blade into an amazing
blade. Absolutely.
But and there's a talent in doing that. I mean, they can come out bit brittle if you go too high. They don't harden correctly if you go too low, and whatever they set their little magic thing at,
there's a real science to it.
Oh, very much so, yeah.
Now, to change the subject slightly, I want to know what Randy's done. I mean, I know you got banned from posting comments now. It's not so long ago or whatever it was. But
and I am innocent. He's a stalker.
Oh, well, there is that. I mean, Randy, would you wise up? Honestly, that kind of bad behavior, it's just not on.
Mate. I see he's allowed to comment now.
What did you do? What did you do?
He was stalking people. Definitely.
No, kidnapping.
He stalks them first, and he has to get them in the right shape to get them down that cellar.
All right, is that what happens?
Yeah, they have to be the right shape.
Oh man, this is how you become his next victim. When you badmouth him.
Unless you're a big fat kid, he'll never lift me.
I know, but that means he'll target me.
Yeah,
Randy, just remember who gave you that favorite knife of yours. Don't forget.
And there's Warthog again. Lovely to see you, my big friend.
And we've got Sean and Dean P and lots of other people as well. Too many to mention, and some new people. Killen
McCallan. That's a real class.
And Ghost.
That's an actor's name, isn't it? An actor.
He's going into my next novel. He's going to be an XSAS spy. Killen McCallan. Absolutely.
Right. Oh, here, look at Ghost Malone.
Ghost Malone. Okay, so you get the American Service knife.
And he does carry that every single day since he's got it.
Yeah.
Medford Smooth Criminal. That's the but is it?
Don't ask me. I haven't come across it before.
I don't know where it's a button lock. I think it is a button lock, or maybe it's an non-assisted, automatic, but I'm not 100% sure.
A Sabenza and a PM2 with titanium handles. Now, I'm not great at maths, right? But that sounds like 4, not 3.
Yeah, but he's married to an Irish girl.
All right, there you go. That would explain why we.
And she's the intelligent one. I didn't finish that. She's the intelligent. There always has to be one intelligent. And his wife is the intelligent one of the two.
They're the brains behind the throne.
She's the brainy one.
Ghost Malone, as always, you know that you can always come here to be insulted. The quality will always be of a very high standard.
Apart from anything else, he's not great looking, and he's boxing way above his weight.
I can't believe that you can say that.
I'm the only person who can say that. There's nobody uglier than our Paddy.
Oh, man. So we've got Antique is in the house. I know we don't want your power, but we do want to know what three other knives you've got.
So just to refresh again, we just want to put down the 3 knives that when you open your drawer, there's a selection of knives that we have that we just automatically know that's going to be that one. So I just want you to pick 3 that would be of that category. The unsung heroes, the knives that you just go and pick up. Show us one of yours, and
I'm going to go with a sack, because you know I will always go with a sack. So I'm going to go with the knife that, since I got it, has not been out of my pocket. Basically, it stays in my wallet, goes in my wallet, and I know that when I left my wallet to go to work or go out or stick it in my pocket or go out, that is always there. So if I forget to pick up another knife, and I always pick up another knife, that is the one that always goes with me, because I have to have a sack. I always have to have a sack with me.
I take my sack everywhere with me.
And it has to be 2 layers. You don't? Hmm? That's why he calls it a sack knife as opposed to just a sack. And can I get really annoying and for Slippy and for Stephen here, just as a correction? Okay, sack stands for Swiss Army knife. So it's not a sack knife because that means it's a sack army knife. And every time I hear you guys saying that, it does my head. Now, call me sensitive.
Sensitive.
All right. I'll shut up now. But you know what I mean. Yeah. So yes, this is an 84mm golfer that Dan at Bladebridge made for me. You know, you've seen it before. So it's got brass liners. It's got the 2 layers, classic 2 layers with Dan's sort of benchmarked or trademark blade. It's got scissors that I can't get out. 84mm scissors that he took off and held on to for about a year. An old beat up 84mm 3-layer that he got. I think it was a climber and or a climber small or whatever it was. And then the combo tool on this with the corkscrew, all the tools.
You see that combo tool? Would you not rather have the
just the normal
the Wenger? No, the Wenger one.
No, don't like the crab claw.
In use, do you think that's better in use?
Well, I don't open cans.
All right.
I open bottles and I use a screwdriver. I don't open can. When was the last time you opened a can, Stephen?
Not so long ago, actually, in my kitchen. That's Sally. She's in there.
Right. Do you see that ring on the top of it where you can actually pull it?
It was upside down. I didn't know there was one.
All right, there you go. That explains so much. That explains. Right. So that would be my first. It's unsung because it's always in my pocket. I have to say it doesn't get as much use as you might think, but it's always there.
Sacks are like that, though.
Yeah,
sacks
if you need them.
Yeah, they are that sort of thing. Look, I'm the same, and I'll have to be honest because although I'm not a sack freak like he is, I mean, this is the one he made for me, and whenever I leave the house, this is always on me. I can't say that about any other knife, but when I'm out, this is in my pocket, and I have used this quite a lot because he put the things in it for me that I knew I was going to use. You know, yes, I have the blade, but there's 2 things on here that I use so much. And I know people, they see this magnifying glass. I'm half blind. And when I'm out, I hate changing glasses back and forwards. So if there's a small right, I just automatically take this out and I can read it. So I use that so regular. And it's great for timestamps. You know, the timestamps are a bit, especially in an old knife and it's a bit battered. They're great. But the inline Phillips, that just
no, it's hard to beat.
That changed the sack knife for me completely.
Yeah. And because you're not a scissors person, you don't need the scissors.
No, I've got a knife. I always have a knife. What do you need scissors for if you got a knife?
But I mean, for all of those guys, I mean, some of the other guys were saying. I think Retro Stu had mentioned he carries a compact. And before I got this compact, and Slippy was doing a thing on his 5 favorite sacks, and the compact was number 1. Tends to be one of the favorites, but it's simply just because of that form factor. Here's the standard 91mm compact, but it's a compact tinker actually because I put the screwdriver on the back of it, and that would have been my favorite. I have 3 or 4 of these, and that would have been my go-to.
Yeah, simply
because it's slim and it's got the perfect tool set until you get an 84mm.
And it doesn't look like it's that much smaller, but it is a lot in your hand, in your pocket.
And in your pocket, it carries so much smaller. And because that's effectively an 84mm compact. The Golfer is an 84mm compact. It's just the same package.
Went on a modern, my traditional knives don't have a hole in them.
Yeah.
So, but you see, putting any sack in your pocket, to me, this wee clip here is you put it in your pocket and you don't feel any weight. It takes the weight off because the weight's all hanging on your hip. Yeah. And when you've got hips like mine, they can carry it.
Yeah.
But again, there's another knife that you wouldn't normally associate with Paddy, but yet it's carried more than any other knife when I go outside the house. So see, Sean's got here Victorinox Camper.
Great wee knife.
An RS Luna. I'm sort of on the seesaw with the Luna. I keep saying I want one, and then I think, nah, I don't really. But
you used to have one, but then you got rid of it, I think.
Yeah. I think again, a lot of my knives, if I buy them or whatever, and then after 6 months, if I'm really not using them, it just moves on. Yeah,
I had the Luna, and I know that Matt loves the Luna.
Oh, he's
and it is a class knife. It's really thin. It's a beautiful slicer. It really is. I prefer the G-Slip Compact, the other Ostap Hell one, because it's got the steel liners on it.
All right.
Whereas the Luna is just the G10.
But you do like the feel of a knife.
I do.
Even with your Saxon, you get brass in them, and you like that little bit of solidity. I think that's what it is. A lot of knives. The bugout, it was basically, to you.
And I mean, the Luna wasn't a bugout, but it was there was still that little bit of insubstantiality to it. But I think it's a great design of a knife. It was just one that never sort of
knives that sell millions and millions are usually really simple. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, like, this is no oil painting, and if you can imagine what this must have looked like when it first came out, there's the 940. It's been going for over 20 years, nearly 25 years now, and what that must have looked like 25 years ago, and yet it's still selling today, probably as much, and I still love this as much as my new. I mean, this would still be my favorite over even that bugout. If you were to tell me give one away, the bugout will go. This is just a do-all knife. A do-all knife.
But the 940 is an icon as well. It's of design and of even history in terms of knife making. I'm interested in this one that Sean said, the NRA Outdoors 12400 in D2. Is that an older one?
Oh, yeah. Anything that's in D2 would be an older one. So I just got this one. This is the my man will tell you now.
Presidium, I think.
Is
there
it?
You go.
Sure?
No, I'm not sure. So I'll keep my mouth shut.
I think it's a Presidio. He's going to look it up now and prove me wrong.
If you want.
Well,
somebody put it in the comments. It'll work quicker that way.
It's a Presidio, I think. And this is in 440C. So again, I got this at the Sharp Show.
You did?
Yes.
Well done.
I got this at the Sharp Show. Brand new inbox, and it's a fair age. This is with a 440C. But I love it. Really love it. D2 again, another steel.
I thought that was D2. Yes,
D2. Just I don't understand. I'll never understand. There was a lot of years ago we said D2 should be in your basic model now. It should be the standard for basic knives. So the industry listened. They changed everything to D2. They changed every knife they could. No, it's no good now. You need to get up to S30V. That D2 is no good. Well, look, let's get real. If you've used D2, you know it's flipping fantastic for a budget knife. There's for any kind of knife. When you take it that, the amount of custom makers that used to use D2, Medford up until a couple of years ago. In fact, I still think he does D2. And his D2 was amazing. Amazing. He really had it down to an art. But lots of companies have it down to a fine art, and now it's not good enough.
But that's always going to be the way. I suppose the important thing is that we don't become like Thrifty, a full-blown knife snob.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not sure if he's referring to himself or us, but we'll take it that it's a self-reference, unless, of course, this contradicts him when he says that he is actually a man of the street. If you went onto the street, Thrifty, instead of spending your time in front of the camera doing videos all the time, because the amount of videos that you're pumping out at the minute, I can only imagine that you're spending 24 hours a day in front of that camera. Then,
absolutely, he's a handsome-looking man, though.
Oh well, yeah, you do have to admit that, really. I mean, I think you're sort of blown out of the water for Christmas this year, kid, because as Santa, he's much sexier. Oh well, you've got the advantage there.
Always there.
But he's got better t-shirts. His t-shirts are awesome.
Yeah, but he has the personality of a Rough Rider.
What, like one of Teddy Roosevelt's Rough Riders? Hey, spot the history reference there. No. Yeah. Oh dear. Oh, Thrifty. Now I'm going to have to put this in context. I'm a man of the street. where I found my missus. Now, we know where you live. You do realise that, don't you?
There's Elan has got that sentence. Get Elan up there, very top there. Put that up on screen.
Which one? That one?
Yeah. This is the saying that every knife collector gets to, and we all have got there, and it's just amazing. And look, I'm really sorry, because you probably started off at 30, then 50, then 75. It now jumps from 100 to 200.
I was just thinking that.
In one go. Oh. But look, we feel for you. We know it's just so tight to do, but somehow you'll find the money to go there if you stay around the hobby for any length of time.
Just stay off Slip Joint Sanitarium, okay? Because,
yeah.
You know, the motto there is just buy it. And more to the point, Red Rose 2 came a cropper last week when he said that he'd been on the Heine Haynes, which is the UK website, the biggest website for knife sales, and he'd put things in his basket and then taken them out again. It was like, basically, there were pitchforks and flaming torches. It would burn the heretic at the time. I mean, you took things out of your basket. What? So £100. Now that threshold is gone, my son. I'm afraid there's no turning
back. Here's the nice thing. I hope it's happened to him as it happened to me. The first time I went over the 100, I bought a really nice knife that I was over the moon with getting. And once I got it in my hand, I said, That's why you spend the extra money.
Yeah.
And it's not that the other ones were bad at all, but that's why you spend the money. And I hope you had that experience. Let us know if you did, because there's nothing worse than when you do that and you get a knife and you think, freaking hell, why did I pay £100 for that? I mean, that's the worst thing you can say. So I hope you got the positive feedback. So what was that? Who's that one there? You just went past one that was there up there. That's it. Killen. He just bought the Barker Bravo one in Crewwear. I have it in what do you call it? 2.
SVVs
in the O2. The O2 tool steel.
Nice.
And it's as a knife. I'm actually going to take it out this week up the back here and do some chop. I can't wait anymore for our camping trip. It's going out this week up the back so I can do a bit of chopping with it and just see it. I never thought I would pay €220 or €420 for a knife. Lovely though. We all have. Honestly, it doesn't. Now I haven't, of my own money bought. I haven't gone. No, I did.
You did.
I did. Yeah. You did. I've gone over. Yeah, I think about $450. No, tell a lie. I bought a Medford.
There you go.
That'll
do it to you.
That was 500, I think, when I bought it.
Okay, so Alan, you need to stop listening right now. Okay, you've still got a ways to go. I'm afraid you're doomed, but there's still life in you.
Here's the honest truth: I don't buy very expensive knives very often. I trade a lot, maybe 2 or 3 knives for one, and that's the way I managed to do it. Because for years I couldn't afford them, so I bought an awful lot of medium-priced knives. So you can put 3, 4, 5 of them together to buy a really expensive knife, which is the best way to do it. Absolutely. Whether you've got money or not, it doesn't matter whether you got a load in the bank. Why do it? Why have knives sitting in your drawer that are just sitting there for pretty sake?
Yeah, very true. And I mean, pretty sake, all the guys are talking about, there seems to be an awful lot of purchase of some of the new runs and case knives, and they're just talking about some of the favorite materials. So we've got buffalo horn, the purple barn board. Is that the one that RJ was showing earlier on in the week? Yeah. And Thrifty, of course, has got another peach seed. Antique Bone is floating around up there, and TK was saying that the Antique Bone looks absolutely amazing.
Love the amber peach seed. Yeah. Funny, that's what Justin's just ordered himself a copperhead.
Just a
big smooth Antique Bone. Yeah, is it? Yeah, I quite like that. Would be probably
that's sort of
like the tobacco-y,
sort of peachy colored, wasn't it? Or was it?
It's like I think it's the tobacco-y colored bone in it. The smooth bone. It's got that sort of light
did
mocha.
They have a canoe in that?
I think they've done a whole range. Yeah, I think they've done the whole range.
Because I think I saw them on Moonraker like that. But the Antique Bone looks very, very nice indeed. So
big kudos to
Last Chance Knives for that cased gift knife. Oh, didn't see that one.
No, I haven't seen that, Byron. Is it on Instagram? I'll go and look at that afterwards. I used to boil. What was it?
Good grief, Alan. I used to boil ramshorn with your granddad to make walking sticks. I had to actually get them curved and twisted. Yeah, very nice.
Do you know? See, if you want a bit of horn and you want to do a mod on a knife, like putting in a Mora type blade in the horn, go to a pet shop. See, if you go into a pet shop, they have them there for dogs to chew. And you have all the lovely horns, small, big, and you can just pick.
Actually, handle material.
Yeah, it's as a handle material. They're hard to drill out, but they're beautiful little bones. I've actually seen a few. If I'm there the next time, I'll maybe pick one up, and not that I'll mod it, but I'll just pick it up as an ornament.
Absolutely. Okay. Anyway, look, we've been paying too much attention to these.
Right.
This bunch of slabbers here. So
give us your second one. I've had my second one.
Have you? Right. Yeah. Okay. So second one, I went modern, and this one. This is my favorite Spidey. Okay, so this is the Spyderco Chaparral in Raffir Noble, and I just adore this knife.
It is a beautifully finished knife.
It really is. I mean, I got this for a song, and I just recently saw one on for 170 quid or something like this, and I got this for less than 100. So, Alan, you can get good knives for less than £100.
But even if you paid full price for that, it's worth it. It's a lovely knife.
And for me, having had it in hand, it's the perfect form factor of an.
And it's XHP in it.
Yes,
XHP steel, which is it must be hard to get now.
Yeah,
because you don't see that much, and it's a fantastic steel. Takes a wicked edge.
Yeah,
if you want to mirror polish a blade, the perfect knife for it.
Absolutely,
and that is so thin.
I mean, as a Spidey, it's probably one of the thinnest Spidey.
Oh, without a doubt.
I think this is even thinner than my Dragonfly, which is a smaller knife.
Yeah.
And it is such a beautiful slicer.
And with the half and half choil at the front, you can get a large 4-finger hand on that. And
but again, it's really light. It's solid, but very, very light.
Do you know what's funny? What am I talking about?
And just to sort of ring the changes. I'm a big fan of the wire pocket clip. Call me crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah, he's just bought one, let me tell you.
I have actually just bought one. But I can't think where I put that knife.
But that's my number. That would be my number 2 unsung hero. If I'm hanging around the house, even if I'm hanging around the house in like jogging bottoms and whatever else, you're not wearing jeans. You're just wearing casual trousers that you're around the house and you're doing bits and pieces. I'll always put that in my pocket because it doesn't weigh anything. Because I can carry a lock and knife around the house and around the garden. It's just fabulous for slicing an orange or an onion or whatever. It's just brilliant. It's a pleasure to use. It really is.
Now, it's funny. Now you're talking about these knives. I know that next year there will be a new make of knife sitting down there. Not a new make, but it's just come out. See, for just an everyday use, this Rosecraft, the kayak. I flipping love that.
Yeah, nice.
I just adore that. Look at that wee stumpy goodness. That really is the mushroom knife.
Now, if Slippy's not here, he will be summoned by this mention of the kayak, because
it's just
as gorgeous. With all things, I'm even afraid to mention it. It's like talking about Candyman. It's like he'll pop up to disagree wholeheartedly with Stephen because basically he thinks that that's an ugly knife. I think it's a lovely looking knife because it's different. It's different. It's a different
pattern. Is good. Yeah. And the last one of my 3 knives is different
again
because it's that thin, but it's a full size knife. But it's that thin.
No, it's amazing. That thing.
It's titanium. It is completely milled titanium. This is done for the boys over at
Tactile Turn.
Tactile Turn, who make the pens, and it's that same sort of milling on this knife. I'm trying to get it so you can see it. Well, you can look at that beautiful clip point, but look how thin that is. I mean, that's even thinner than the one he was showing you there. It's just
as a slicer, there's just no
beating it. And this is in Not Magna Cut. I knew that. Yeah, this is in Magna Cut, the new super steel that everybody wants. But let me say two things. One is it's everything that the experts say it is. Absolutely. I just haven't managed to dull this. And I use this an awful lot on a chopping board when I'm chopping up dogs. I aggregate them chicken, the cooked chicken, but it's hard.
Just before you go on, please clarify that you weren't chopping up the dogs.
No.
For the dogs.
It was for the dogs. It's chicken and duck we get, but it's hardened. And I use this for slicing it up to they're only small dogs, so they just get a bit at a time. It's so thin, and you would swear going through a hard bit of, it's like seasoned chicken, and you're getting through it. Can't blunt this yet. It gets a wee strop every now and then, and it just comes straight back. It's so easy to strop, which you can get a lot of knives that have a high HRC and will last for ages, but to get them stropped, it's a nightmare. You you need a diamond paste to get a good stropping. I can do this on a green, just a green paste, and it still does it. Now, I have a diamond one if I want to do it a bit faster, like they always say. But so that's the knife that I'll pull out. You see, going out with this in your pocket, it really is nothing.
But you even like to carry it on your belt.
On my belt, I have a wee belt pouch and have it there, and I know it's always there because I'll have this on me.
Same as that, yeah.
Or I might even have another one. A lot of days, if I'm trying something, testing something, it'll be in the front pocket instead of this. So, there is certain knives, but these are my workers. These are ones I would consider my good old work knives that do a bit of everything.
There's a wee offer from Ghost Malone for you. He says he'll give you his ask for that tactile turn, and he'll even throw in some extras so you can swap them around, swap the blades and stuff around.
Ghost Malone, you are the nicest man in the world. And you see, if I was to sell it to anybody or trade it to anybody, it would be you. But you have not got a hope. Sorry.
I don't think he'd even let it out of his pocket just to even let you have a go at it.
I can't believe how I was nearly going to say attracted. It is that I have an attraction that I can't break with that.
But it's just so useful. It's a pocket dropper.
It's a £200 knife over here. Yeah. In the States, I think it's $200. But it's just worth every penny to me. Now, mine isn't. It's not that far off.
No, it's actually got better.
Yeah, it has. The more I've used it, it has. It's got better and better. But it's just, there is a couple of little fit and finish issues that are just there. And I know they're there, but they don't bother me in the slightest. Like being a little bit off center, they never bother me. But the back spring isn't completely flush. Mm-hmm. It's a tiny little bit up or down.
But isn't that the rounding on it, or is that?
Well, no, it should be right, flush. Yeah. But it's just if you do get a chance, really is the knife to have.
Okay. Now I know, Wordhog, that you guys have been being distracted in the chat by that devil who is Thrifty Kniffy. I would just like to.
Sucks.
I would just like to say that no, they're talking about the kayak.
All right.
That TK is just Slipjoint Sawyer's puppet. So by and large, you can't trust anything he says because none of us trust Slippy, right? None of us trust Slippy.
But he's good. His eyes are too close together.
Oh well, that and that's always. And he wears suede shoes, and you can never trust a man who wears suede shoes
or has a soft top sports car.
And a ponytail.
And a ponytail, yeah.
He's younger than us.
Yeah.
He's hateful all over, really,
isn't he? Flipping right.
Yeah, handsome devil. You're right. But, and TK, if you would like to take issue with this, what we would like to do, Stephen and I would like to issue an invitation to you both is, now I'm going to be a little bit revolutionary with the phrasing of this statement, but if you fancy a foursome, you and Matt and me and Stephen, doing one of these, doing a
video where you bring 3 knives each.
Yeah. And we'll do it live. If we do one of these live, if we get a time that suits all of us, I think it would be great to get the 4 of us together just to get some of the abuse going live.
But all pick a different topic of knife.
Ooh.
We'll put the topics the week before we do it. We'll do a drawing on here of 4 different topics. We'll actually get you to pick them as well, and then we have to bring knives to that topic, to the table.
Excellent.
And argue our point for the good knives or the bad knives.
Yeah, it could all end in tears, actually.
Yeah, I think that'll be a good one.
So, if you fancy, let us know. Talk it over with Matt, and we'll try and do is we'll try and get a time that means that you're not like up at 3 o'clock in the morning over in Texas. And we'll see if we can, because I think it would be great fun if we get the four of us together. What do you reckon? Rules of engagement are: we will not mention space, and we will not mention.
Who said that?
You know that we could lose an hour of real time.
Yeah, but if I get your good knives, the spade's going to be there. It's one of my favorite knives. The fact that Slippy's wrong, but it shouldn't mean that I can't show the knife.
Well, no, the topics are going to be on different topics because everybody's bored listening to you lot. Okay, we're going to have fights about different stuff. Okay,
yeah, I'm going to fight with you now.
Yeah, well, we will end the stream before that. Hold your water. We've only got 4 minutes to go, and then you can fight with me.
No, because you bite.
Don't worry, guys. I can take them. Well, I can run away.
he bites my ankles.
Kneecaps. I'm not that short. Okay, so, Randy, the question is this Paddy's idea or yours? This was mine. Because he challenged me to come up with an idea. Apparently, I don't have an idea in my head, and I just follow along. So I thought I'd come up with something, and the easiest idea seemed to be to invite 2 other agents along to this. So
can I just say something,
Randy? Don't speak too soon. You'll be invited along too.
All joking aside, Justin is probably one of the most humble men I know, and he still thinks, "Oh, this is Paddy's show. I'm just on it." This show would not be this show without Justin. And I know that, and it means the world to me, for a scrag end to come in and just take over a position in a show. Doesn't have a YouTube channel, and yet we can sit here. Before we start, we come in, and I showed him a knife that I got tonight when he came in, and he done the exact same movements that I done, and the same facial expression, and even the little just came out. It was exactly the same. We are so like it's scary, and yet we do like a lot of different stuff.
It's very true. Yeah. And but the impulse control is coming.
Yeah, like that is a stunning knife. This is my little stunning version of it. But they're both beautiful knives. So we like that sort of size. We like similar shapes, but different knives. And that's the joy of this hobby. You don't have to be a complete copycat.
And it's true. But just to end up, I'm going to do my
your last one, yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that this is going to be a popular one because you can't go very far without a saw buster, or in this case, this is the GEC bullnose. And I mean, when Stephen asked me to bring 3 knives that were unsung heroes, I was looking at it and I was debating over. The sack was an easy choice. It's always in my pocket.
Yeah.
The Spyderco has been in my pocket recently, so it was an easy choice, and I wanted to bring something a wee bit that I don't show that often. But this one was the one that I was sort of, and my hand was going, do I go for one of my Ashley Harrison's, which I use a lot? Well, I've got an Ashley Harrison spear point, and it's funny because Stephen had picked pretty much the same knife, and it comes and it's always one of my first go-tos. But this, see if I'm working. See if my wife tells me that I have something to do down in the allotment or out in the garden. This is the knife I reach for, because I know that it will absolutely positively do everything you need to do.
We took that down the woods with us, and you were just over the moon with how well it worked.
I mean, because it's such a simple knife, but it feels great in hand, and it is a beautiful blade shape. I think it's a fantastic blade shape. It's got a lovely patina on it now.
It is. It's growing nicely. I love an organic patina much better than a forced one. I don't know what you think of it in there. Organic patina or just a one that comes with time and use. Which do you prefer? I'm dying to see Warthog what he prefers, because he really doesn't like Warthog shines everything. But I'm wondering if he does like it when 1095. Does he like it patinaed naturally, or forced patina with vinegar or something like that?
Yeah. It's the red. It's sort of the burgundy
organic
red.
Sean.
On this, doesn't come up very well into this light.
It's nicer. I got the green. I tried to get because I just bought one back again this year, earlier this year, and I tried to get the red, but I couldn't get one because that's the one I would go for.
Yeah, and it's just a cracking. And the funny thing is, Mikey, you and I both know we both got Sodbusters at the Sharp show. And I mean, I got a lovely case Sodbuster, and that I've been looking for. We spent the whole time going through drawers looking for Sodbusters, and I've got a cracking one, and it's a beautiful Sodbuster. I prefer this, but the case Sodbuster is beautiful because it's so slim. Mm-hmm. It is so slim, the case Sodbuster. But this thing is the same form factor of knife, but it sits in your hand like it was born there.
Yeah. This is solely an EDC, I believe, an EDC Sodbuster. That is an EDC, but also take it out in the woods or do anything
it's
with
a beater.
It's got a bit of a thicker blade stock. Yeah. It's got, they're both these are both CV. But that to me is a work knife, because if you're going to work for a long time, a little thin handle like that is not what you want. It's not what you want. That's got a much broader hand, twice the size. And that's why it makes it. But as an EDC, the case Sodbuster,
we were talking about pocket droppers. It's just perfect. It really is.
Then you drop it in, unless you go for the plastic scales.
Yeah,
there are case plastic scales.
Nah. Yeah, if you go for the
wood, when they have wood or the bone, the bone case's bone is just fantastic.
Yeah, it's very true.
So there we go. Can't collect vintage. You're right, Warda. But I was surprised that you said you vinegared them first, or whatever. You done it first. I did when I first got into it. I tried that, but I just didn't like it at all. So I just let it go, because if you got a lot of them, it takes a while to get the tinners up. You have to sort of be a bit careful, especially if you're going to use them with fruit. That use them with fruit. Give it a little light wipe off, but make sure you give it the wipe off. Get a bit of oil on it.
The number of times that I've either tried the experiment with the mustard or the lemon juice or whatever else, or even just been cutting apples and pears and whatever else, and you look at it and go, oh God, what have I done to my knife? And then you get the chrome polish out and clean it all off as quick as you possibly can.
I love the ones like this where I have it on it, off it, on it, off it. And every time I take it off, I regret it.
And every time you see it gets
stained. But today, there we go. Yeah, today's March. I was peeling an apple for my grandson, giving a wipe with I think it was a paper tissue, because that's all I had on me at the time. And so it's already starting to get that line where I peeled it. Because I had to do it in one go, because you have to when you're a knife expert.
Oh, of course. Is that what happens?
The grandson thinks you're amazing.
Yeah, well, it's
easy to impress
kids these days. What age is he? 22?
I could never do it with the girls.
You and me both, kid. And we're going back to Thrifty again, and he's got go-to knives. 3 3/3 inch lockback. Okay, so something like would that be as big as a buck, or 112 maybe? 3/4 inch lockback.
Oh, a 3/4 inch, 3 3/4 inch locks. Oh yeah, 112. Yeah.
No, not as big as the 110.
No, I think the 110 is near 4 inches, isn't it?
2-layer alloys, Pioneer or Cadet. Could be the 84 miller. Good choice.
I don't know. I don't have bucks or crap.
Oh, don't start. Because we're nearly through, and I nearly got him through without throwing a grenade out there. And obviously you're going to have a Stockman in there, and again you've gone for a 4th, even though we asked you only for 3, and you got a wee old timer in the 5th pocket, like a wee peanut.
Yeah, but it wasn't in the game, was it? He's just done it again. Yeah. That's him and Ghost Malone. We're not asking them any more questions. Okay. They don't play fair.
Yeah, they're always trying to squeeze an extra knife, aren't they? Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. So, folks, you won't believe it, but we're already well past the hour, and
DJ's knives, hot fatty meat and apples.
We are still talking about food and patinas, aren't we? I'm kind of hoping that, but that's that's our 3 knives.
Yeah, and thank you so much for joining in. Do you know what makes it even more? It's more enjoyable.
Yeah, just amazing.
And it's lovely. Like, don't be frightened to put knives up if you haven't got like somebody tonight just passed over their first £100 knife. If you've got ones that are way below 100, they're not bad knives. They're just a lesser price than the ones that you put them up. Enjoy the knives you've got, because I enjoyed mine going through my budget fades when I started. I enjoyed it immensely. And to get a new shape or something was just, the excitement was still there.
Yeah.
And keep that as long as you can. Definitely keep that as long as you can.
But this is what's special about talking about these things, because it's the knives you always go back to.
Yeah.
So you might have had a knife. I mean, for me, it's always going to be a Swiss Army knife. I mean, they're not expensive knives, but it's always going to be a Swiss Army knife, because I'm always going to carry a Swiss Army knife. Somebody mentioned the Midnight Manager earlier on up there in the chat. We didn't get a chance to show that. Midnight Manager is another classic. That the one thing one of the many things I regret about carrying this all the time is it means I don't carry an awful lot of my other Swiss Armies that I would have carried on a regular basis. As a keyring knife, keychain knife, absolutely the best.
I've got that wee, is it Midnight Manager?
Rambler, I think you've got.
I've got a Rambler, but I've got the Midnight Manager with a pen on it.
Yeah, but I think it's the Mini Champ.
Mini Champ,
which is another class one.
A Mini Champ on the keyring, and the amount of times that has saved my bacon.
Absolutely.
Tiny little knife, but it cuts a zip tie just as much as anything else.
But that's what I mean. You'll always come back to ones that meant something to you at the start of this.
And the time when you don't have a pen is always the time that you're asked for a pen or you need a pen. And knowing that wee thing is in there, just you feel so safe. It's a tiniest little pen. You put your file up to write with it.
It's a fantastic little piece of design.
It's just such a small knife. My nails, I love the fact that I can, if I get a rag nail or something, because I have pretty nails for a man.
Oh, and do you use the scissors for that?
No, a file, I said.
Oh, a file. All right. Fair
got
enough.
a knife.
Escaped that.
If I want to cut my nails, I can cut them with a knife.
How the hell do you cut nails with a knife?
Carefully.
Carefully. So, boys, enjoy your knives.
Enjoy the night.
Enjoy the rest of your evening. And thank you very much for joining us.
They've made two fellas really happy. I've really enjoyed the.
Well, we started happy. We're even happier than we were at the beginning.
See you next week. And thank you again so much.
Guys.
Really appreciate it. And if I insulted you, you deserved it.
And if you didn't, we'll get you right next time, okay?
Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, I enjoyed that.
Oh, it was fun.